Hello, it's Blockchain here coming at you with another technical analysis update. For those of you just tuning in, I'm primarily an Elliott Wave trader using other areas of Confluence and other technical analysis to really complement my price analysis. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into the charts. All right. It is your boy Blockchain coming at you for another crypto technical analysis update. I'm going to dive into ETH, but before we do, we are starting off on blockchain.trading.com. If you have not checked out the website and you are new to my channel, my content, make sure you jump over and check it out. Biggest thing I want to highlight is right here. Get my #1 trading strategy for completely free. So just hit this little get in touch button right here, and I will actually send you a video walkthrough of my #1 trading strategy that is consistent, profitable, reliable, and applicable to any market. Stocks, crypto, does not matter. And I will actually, in this video, I'm going to highlight a position that I took on it as well. So if you are not a member of the Discord, you can have the option to do so here for a monthly or yearly subscription. The masterclass is wiped out in regards to completely sold out. I actually went over what I was originally going to do for a beta launch, but I'll take it. Then, of course, if you're interested in learning Elliott Wave, the Crypto Hippo has his masterclass for $4.97. And if you're new to crypto in general, or even want to get into some stocks, you can use the Robinhood app specifically for stocks. The rest of it is going to be mainly based around crypto, except for TradingView and ExpressVPN. But a couple preferred vendors in regards to ones that I've used before personally and trust. And of course, testimonials in case you want to see what the group is saying about the Discord, my video content, etc. So let's go ahead and just look at the overall market. We did actually get some moves today to the upside, which was pretty interesting based upon some of the other TA that I was looking at. However, most recently we did have a little bit of a drop, but from the past 24 hours or so, we had a pretty decent move up, but pretty flat from the move up that we took. Let's see. Yeah, nothing too crazy. Still kind of trading within the range, which is pretty interesting. We haven't really broken any key level yet. I was looking 9,500 on Bitcoin as a pretty important area to break, and wasn't sure if we were going to be able to break that or not, but we'll dive that into the actual charts here. But obviously, with Bitcoin being the most dominant, that's the one that we do want to make sure we pay attention to. But we did break a key 9,500 level, and it looks like we are coming back and back testing it as support, so we will see if it holds. Overall in the news, a couple things just worldwide. The China trade agreement is over. We'll see what that kind of has an impact on the world economy. Obviously, a couple headlines for that piece. Let's see, stocks rally. Large tech continues to outpace the broader markets. It's 100% true. U.S. stocks have actually been moving higher and higher. Pretty interesting. We'll see what it goes into. I know a lot of different areas are going into phase 2 or phase 3 for ones that have actually been shut down. I know here in Seattle we finally have gotten back towards a stage 2. So with the U.S. starting to open back up, we'll see what kind of sentiment that has on the market. I think everyone's going to be pretty excited to see what overall that looks like. But seems fairly optimistic, and yeah. So we'll see. All right, so let's go ahead and dive into the chart. So let's actually go over and just look at the overall daily. For those of you that have been looking at the counts with me from a daily perspective, I have a couple of different ones. One being 100% this move up corrective, and one could potentially be an impulse, excuse me. And just to quickly highlight that, I'm not going to go over into super detail, but one would be, there would be a 1, 2, basically this whole thing would be a 3, and this would be your 4th, potentially starting the 5th right now. So that would be our bullish count, and our bearish count would be that we start here, because this is obviously a 3 wave. Come on. There we go. All right, so this one right here, obviously, it's the, would be a 3 wave for that particular move, and then really right here we would be looking at basically a double zigzag. Of course, I didn't even choose the WXYXZ. So basically, we'd be looking at something like this, to where it would be all corrective WXYXZ made up of 3 waves. We have a 3 wave here, 3 wave right there, 3 wave right here, 3 wave here, and a 3 wave here. So it all depends really where this kicked off. And the only thing that I have that can really give a really strong case for the bulls is the CME chart on Bitcoin, as right down here is a lot more clear than what it is on regular exchanges. So let's take a look at where we are currently. So where we are at the point, it is, we've got to break it right here if we are going to go up. We are at a very important key level for ETH right now. Right here, you can see, we bumped our head again on the trend line. 245. I think we went up to 247. I think was our high. Basically 247. Went up. We got resistance on the edge of the fib circle. We got resistance on the trend line and the top of the fib channel for the overall move down. So if we do have a reversal here, we'll be setting in another lower high. And I'd be looking at that as quite bearish. We were right here in this zone. It was looking to, we got to break out of it and have some, I guess, strength to get above, the 237 mark, in which we did. However, I was looking for a little bit more follow through, because, right here, if we are able to break this area here of 248, 250, and get back above that 250 mark, then I would probably see an extension up to, retest the 290 area for our last local high that we had back here in February. But we've got to break this area first, and we can look at a couple smaller time frames and see what that could be potentially telling us. But be bullish and get another extension up, that would really, in my eyes, turn that into an impulsive 5-wave move. I don't know how else we could potentially really count it if we do get another extension up, especially if it's a 5-wave move pretty clearly. But we got to break the 250 mark from where we at now. On the flip side, on trend lines, this is why I don't like, breakout trading or making any kind of move specifically on that, just because, we did have this move, we broke this 45-degree trend line the first time that we have ever since we started moving up from this, massive dip that we had, because it's been support. It was, starting off down here, it was support here, support there, support here, support here, support here, and then we wicked through it right here real quick, kind of just bled through it, and that I'm sure was enough to get a lot of people in shorts right here. And then, the bulls step in and just eat it up and get right back above that trend line. So that's why I'm not a big fan of breakout trading, just because, a lot of times it's not a confirmed breakout. Even though we did have a couple, candle closes within there, we didn't, break it with volume, but, we did have a couple daily closes outside of this trend line. And we just, pumped right back into it today. However, like I said, we are finding resistance right on the top of the fib channel here. We are also right on the outside of the ring on the Gann box. So a lot of resistance where we are currently. and we've got to break it to move up any higher. So like I said, if we break here, and I think that gives us pretty clear skies to get up towards the, retest the highs of where we were around the $290, $300 mark. We'll have a couple stops along the way, I'm sure. Probably, 260, I would say, another about 270, 275, and then ultimately back up around 290. So that's where I'd be looking to go if we do end up going higher. And we would need to do it with 5 waves. So I'll put a couple price labels on there. About 270, and the next one about 257. So probably a couple of stops around these areas here, and then ultimately roughly 290. And then if we break that, then I'd be, even more bullish and, start looking back towards, the 350 mark up here. So, but obviously a lot of stops to do, and make sure we confirm before we do get there. Now, on the flip side, if we do end up losing where we are currently and start to roll back over, we could stay, within this fib ring right here and just, potentially just roll back over. And, I think ultimately, if we do lose this, we'll come back here, find some support around the 225 mark, but ultimately I think we'd come back around the 200, retest that, potentially find some support there. 200's been pretty strong, was a pretty strong resistance point that we did break, so I would imagine a pretty strong bounce there, but then ultimately another bounce would probably be around the 185 if we do go beyond that. But there's, obviously a lot of price action that can play out between there, and we'd be looking at, really what does the wave structures tell us, and how can we potentially get there. But for this to be a wave 4, with it, we can, as a complex correction, look at this as a wave 4, potentially as a WXY right here, to get up and start off and kick off a 5th wave. So let's look at a couple lower time frames here. So ultimately, we can be looking at this. We did have a 5-wave move up here, and the question is this the start of something, or what is it the end of something? And we could be finishing off a B wave here for a 5-wave move down. So basically for WXY, this would be your A, B, and your C right here, starting off with either an A up or a wave 1. Now, if we do, roll over here, and we just, continue to the downside, that would be an ABC. We did tag the 1.236, which is from pulling the fibs level, it's from this point, and this point for your A and your B. I guess your 0, your A, and your B. That gave us the 1.236, and looking at, potentially trying to make an impulse wave of this. This right here would potentially be a wave 1, overextended 3, coming back down for a 4, and then up again for a 5th, in which I would be looking at an extension up here to 254 if this is a wave 3. So it does match up quite nicely for the 1.618 and an overextension of the 5.618 right here on ETH to get up to 554. So it'd be interesting to see if we come back, test this trend line. I don't know if you guys use the fib channels or not, but they're pretty much the best thing since sliced bread, since I've been starting to play with them a little bit, and they are pretty awesome. So if you don't use the fib channels and you do anything with Elliott Wave, I would highly, highly recommend it. I don't think anyone really talks about them enough, but it has a lot of plays, especially just in corrections that you can utilize. And then if you guys use my #1 trading strategy in Confluence with it, it's pretty awesome. So actually, let's check this out. So right here. So I'm on the 1-hour time frame. If you guys watch my trading video for my #1 trading strategy for free, I wasn't really interested in a position here quite yet. You know, I was just wanting to see ultimately how it played off in regards, could this be a B wave? Could it, you know, potentially be a wave two? You know, I did take a play actually right here off of the pivot point. So we had this pivot point right here with a 5-wave move up. We had our divergence, our bearish divergence showing. So I took a short position here. Ultimately closed it back down on the retest of this bottom trend line of the fib. And you know, kind of just let this action play out. I did not jump in or anything on this wave up. However, right here on the R3 for the resistance zone 3 on this move up, again we had a fairly decent 5-wave move up. Right here is kind of questionable. Definitely not a wave 3, but you know, we could be looking at this as a 1, 2, 3, coming back down for a 4th, and then up again for one more for a 5th. But we did have divergence. You know, I was able to somewhat count out, but I was really focusing on the divergence play right there on the R3 pivot. But you can kind of see right here just how nicely the RSI is resetting. What I don't want to see, if we're going to be bullish, what I don't want to see is this come back down and fall into the bearish control zone, which is underneath 45. But even on the CB index, it's, you know, reset itself quite nicely. The RSI has reset itself nicely. And, you know, I'll be looking for maybe one more little push down, create the bullish divergence between, you know, the low point here and where we are currently. And that would, you know, be enough to kick us off again. But, you know, right here, I did actually had 2 shorts stacked in just because it was a fairly safe play, you know, in regards to looking at the R3 resistance zone with the confluence of the 4.236 and 1.236 if this is an ABC, with an overextension of your 5 waves right here. So still in it. Honestly, we'll probably be playing a bounce off of here if we get it, especially I want to, you know, get a couple confirmed closes yet. Have not gotten that, but you know, I think we could come back down, test the trend line, and you know, that would be enough to kick us off. And even on these moves here, let me pull the fib channel again. We'll do an overlay of the fib channel. Boom, boom, and boom. So, all right. Yeah, if you look at that, I mean, matches up quite nicely for the 236 of this downward fib channel. Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of good plays in this whole correction here of this fib channel that's descending. So you can kind of see just overall how nicely these moves play off with it. So we come back even from the test up here. Now I probably wouldn't have, you know, obviously you can't really draw a fib channel off of this action here, but where we are currently gives us a lot of price action. Even, you know, with this point, you could have drawn it and gotten, you know, some pretty decent plays out of it using Elliott wave. You know, we tagged the 786 very nicely, came up, found resistance at the 382, back down, tagged 1-to-1 extension of it. You know, back up and, you know, found resistance again at the 382, support at the 786 again. So, I mean, all these areas played off of each other very, very nicely in this descending channel. So, definitely something to utilize if you guys have not already. So, highly, highly recommend it. But what I will be looking at is this area right here, for some support to potentially launch off of. So about 240, we're pretty close to it already. So I'm just going to be watching for a reaction to see how we bounce off of 240. So we have a resistance zone 2 right here. We also have the 382 fib on the channel. We also, in the ascending channel, I want to say that's the 486. What is that? The 4618. So we have the 4618 fib line right here as well. And we have a lot of the momentum oscillators starting to look a little bit more bullish. So we'll see if we get another kick up. I'd want to see confirmation close down here with a reversal, kick off with another 5-wave move up. And, you know, if we break this right here for ETH, that's going to be a pretty big deal. As I can see, as I showed you guys on the macro, that we're at a pretty important point right now for ETH. So if we break this, get back up into the 254s, that's going to be a big deal for a lot of the different technical analysis out there, just because we have been descending for quite some time. And I would look at this as if we get back up here and we start to close, I would start to look at that as more of our macro reversal and start to look at, getting back up into some of the highs of, like I said, about the 300. So a pretty important point, but that's overall what I'm going to be looking for. If this is an ABC, then, this is, again, just a correction. This is going to end up being a WXYXZ with another move down. It would, probably be in another three-wave move in which, we would probably set in another lower low, probably tag the 1.618 of this fib channel back around 200. That's kind of what we're looking at for support on the other chart as well for the macro. Obviously, we'll have a couple stops on the way, so I'd be, start to look at zones here, but we'd probably come up with another three-wave move down, such as another ABC or a zigzag potentially, to come back down and start looking at some of these, setting in another lower low, and then, we would have to kind of reevaluate and go from there. So, but as of right now, this looks like an ABC. We would need to get back up here to the 254, consolidate probably for a little bit, come back down, retest the top of the channel that we would be breaking out of for an overall wave 4, and get us back up to higher highs. So if this is going to be an impulse, overall what I'd be looking for is this being the wave 1, 2, overall that would be your third, your fourth, and then honestly breaking this and consolidating above would be pretty bullish. I think we would get back above with an overextension, overextended wave 5, or we may even get an overextended wave 3 with as overextended as it's been already. But I would start looking at there's that 290 mark right there, the 3.618 that I was talking about before. So either an overextended wave 5, or we get an overextended wave 5 in the third wave right here to break that area, come back down, support, and then get that wave 5 back up. So if we're bullish, that is what I'm going to be looking for. But right here at around the 240 zone is going to be a pretty important level, and we'll see how we react and go from there, in order to turn this into an impulsive wave. Or right here we roll over, it would just be an ABC. So overall, guys, that's what I'm looking for. Obviously not financial advice, but just how I'm looking at some potential moves in the market. I hope to see you guys in the masterclass or the Discord. As always, if you like the content, smash the likes, hit the subscribe button, and I will catch you guys on Wednesday for the next update.